Okay, we're going to start working on composition. And in order to do that, at least to start off with it, what we're going to do is combine three objects, two books and one cylinder. So here's what we're going to do. So I'm showing you this from above to kind of give you an idea of what we're looking for. So we're going to put one book on top of the other one. So you want them to be relatively big, but you want the one on top to be smaller. Okay. We don't want to line them up like this, okay? That's the big circle slash, no. What we want to do is kind of cock it to one side a little bit, bring the corner out a little bit from here. And then we're going to put this guy kind of right there. You can either, so if you have the corner sticking out on the right side, put the cylinder on your left. If you have corner sticking out on your left side, put your cylinder on the right. Okay, but what we want to do, I'm going to just put this back the way I had it here, and then I'm going to set up or show you a little bit of how I want, or how I'm going to set this up. So basically what I want to do is that I want to set it up so that we can see three corners. So I'm going to move this a little bit so we can see the three corners of each book. So there, and there for the top book, and there, and there for the bottom book. We also want to be able to see, of course, the top of this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use all the tools that we've learned in this. We're never going to not use these, all right? I know that sounds maybe a little bit weird to say never not, but and I do want you to show your work with this. So here's what we're going to do. So we're going to start with, I just want to see where I am right here and kind of get this to focus. There we go. So I'm going to use my pencil to do some measurements. Okay. So this is my sort of sizing measurements. So there's my front corner, and I'm going to draw and do this a little bit like this. Okay. And then I'm going to do some measuring out. This one's about 3 or 4. And this one's about 5 going this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And I guess a little bit less. All right. Yeah, I want that to go a little more. Okay. So now I'm going to use my pencil like this to measure. I'm not showing the object right now because you know how to do this. To measure the angles. So I'm going to draw them a little bit like this. And like this. Once again, apologize for sloppiness. But you get the general idea. Now, if you're unclear on any, oh yeah, I forgot we kind of measured this out to here, didn't we? If you're unclear on how to do any of this, coming out to there. Sorry, we really needed the end of the boxes here. Please refer back to any of the videos. So when we go back to here and we take a look at our object and whatever, we can see that we cannot see our back corners, especially on the bottom book, because it is just blocked by the top book. But in the same way that when we draw like our bottom ellipses, on our cylinders, we want to make sure that we're drawing what we can't see, so what we can see makes sense. So when we look back here, trying to bring this into focus as best I can, you can see that, you know, only this part of the bottom book is actually viewable, but we want to draw as much as we can. So let's draw the top book. So I'm looking to see, this is about where its front corner is. I'm going to measure its height and then kind of measure it's without, so this is a very important thing to kind of get this box-like thing. So it's about 3 this way, about to there, and about 5 there, about 6 this way. 1, 2, 4, 5. Actually, it's about 5. So you know what? I was measuring it, and then I was also want to look visually because I wanted to see where this corner is going to be over here, which is going to be about there. All right, so now I look at the angles, once again, doing it horizontally to see how they line up. And I'm also looking to see how they line up in relationship to the book underneath. So I know this corner is hanging over right here, but then it's coming up on the book right here. And then horizontal. So you're using both, this sort of measuring tool and your powers of observation to see about how the two objects interact with each other. Okay, so it's a little bit of both. A little bit of both. Now I'm going to draw the back corner. Once again, I can't see the back corner because you can see that my cylinder is slightly in the way. But we're going to draw it anyway because we can see, we have parts of these back lines here that we need to make look right. So once again, we're drawing what we can't see so what we can see makes sense. So make sure you're using your sighting tools, using all the skills you've got. All right, so there's my 2 books in a very, very basic way. Now, when I go back here, I have my cylinder. So now I'm going to draw my cylinder. I'm going to try to back this up a little bit more. And let's see, to angle a little bit more here. So I'm going to look first just to see how far from this corner to the right edge of the cylinder it is, and then I'm going to put in my middle line, my center line here. And I'm going to make this here the same distance over here for the left-hand side. Make sure you have that center line because it's going to be so helpful. Okay. Now I'm going to look to see how far down, we want our ellipse down here to fully, we want it not to touch this book, because here's where drawing your entire ellipse really, really matters. If you draw it and you're getting in here, like in here in this book, then you know that the base of your cylinder is somehow taking up the same space as your book. So you want to make sure that when you draw this, this is a little bit awkward. When you draw your grid down here, it in no way is coming into this area of this book. So I'm going to draw my contact points. I'm drawing really small. I'm actually drawing with a mechanical pencil, which I don't normally do just because of the amount of detail I need to have. Okay, so now I'm going to do some sighting. You can use anything on here. I think I'm going to use this front corner again, just to see how tall this guy needs to be. And it looks like it needs to be about 6 tall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I'm going to draw my grid up here. Wow, that is an uneven grid. There we go. Contact points. Oh man, that's a terrible, terrible ellipse. All right, you get the idea. But I also have I have the cap. So I'm going to draw that ellipse right in here. Okay, so there's my basic shapes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in and add some detail into here. So I need to bring this out a little bit and add kind of this lip here. I actually need to bring this in just a little bit right there. When I look at my book here, this guy, I need to kind of draw the thickness of this cover right here. And thickness here. We can actually see that we come in a little bit right here. And there's the pages right here. My top book is pretty mediocre. I do have a little bit, there's a little bit of a divot right here on the bottom book that you can kind of see. This is a rather, regular book. I'm just going to draw a few lines to just sort of suggest paper. And there we go. Oops.